ESPN, the world leader in motorsports coverage, presents Speed World.
Arms to Mike Wine and the Jersey Outlaw as he tries to take a first-ever win in the Spectrum. But that won't be an easy task as he takes on the superstars of monster truck racing.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kingdome in Seattle, Washington. I'm Brett Kepner, and we're just about ready to kick off the season-opening mud racing championship in the Great Northwest.
First Blood, Bigfoot, and Carolina Crusher are among the 8 major monsters on the battlefield today. It should be sheer mayhem.
Welcome to the 1991 Monster Truck Challenge Series. Welcome, everybody, to the Spectrum in Philadelphia as we get ready for qualifying here with the USHRA Association's showdown of 8 of the toughest monster trucks in captivity, leading off with Gary Porter in the Carolina Crusher Chevrolet. He'll kick things off in qualifying on a shortened 95-foot-long course. Reaction time will be all important during eliminations, but right now, just speed is the concern as drivers attempt to qualify the quickest against the clock. Porter, airborne, rough landing, and blows the left rear fender right off the truck. The crowd can't believe it. What a way to kick off any event. On the replay, beautiful air, but a rough landing that compressed the suspension and literally put body against rubber. Wild, wild ride, but the elapsed time nonetheless, 2.13 seconds. That will at least set the pace. And the crowd now can't wait to see what happens next. It'll be Mike Wine, one of the hometown favorites, really, from right across the river in New Jersey, with his Outlaw Ford, sponsored by Super Winch. The supercharged Ford wedge-powered machine ready. Inching forward, now fully staged. Mike Wine, an incredible flight that found him bouncing just as high when he finally returned to earth past the finish line. It didn't appear that we'd be able to see a truck air itself right over these cars, but now this will be an aerial battle. Wine waves to the crowd. He's thrilled. The elapsed time, 1.99 seconds, will pace this qualified program. That will bring up Maryland's Black Stallion, the Ford of Michael Vaughters, a home-built heavyweight that has already proven itself to be more than competitive over the last 2 seasons. The elapsed time for the Stallion, 2.38 seconds. But coming up next, it's the all-time favorite in the world of monster trucks, the original monster machine flying the Sunoco colors for this event. Surprisingly, this is John Pyatt and the Bigfoot Ford. Another incredible flight as Pyatt returns to earth. The elapsed time, though, surprisingly slow at 2.24 seconds. Right now is John Kwasniewski in the Buffalo, New York-based Buffalo Tremor. A wild bouncing landing for the Buffalo Tremor Chevrolet as well. We are getting some amazing height here considering the short distance of the course. A bouncy ride for Kwasniewski, but the elapsed time, 2.246 seconds, betters Bigfoot's 2.247 by 1,000th of a second. From Woodstock, Illinois, Rob Fuchs and the First Blood Ford. The number 1 spot, currently 1.99 seconds. Mike Wine in the Jersey Outlaw Ford still leads this field. But an incredible flight for Fuchs. Literally airborne the entire length of the course. An amazing launch and then a beautiful landing. 1.88 seconds will put the working class hero number 1. Fuchs paces a field of killers. Then we'll bring up Mike Beeler in the Wrecker Chevrolet, one of the more outrageous paint schemes in the sport. The elapsed time, an exceptional 2.11 seconds. So number 1 ends up being the working class hero. First Blood and Rob Fuchs with the Ford. Number 2, another Ford, the Jersey Outlaw of Mike Wine. And Beeler's Chevrolet, a surprising number 3. Coming up, we've got more monster truck action from the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Side-by-side eliminations. Stay with us. Truck eliminations as we have completed qualifying with a surprise #1 qualifier, Rob Fuchs in the First Blood Ford. But on the line, John Kwasniewski in the New York-based Buffalo Tremor takes on that #1 qualifier. The Tremor Chevy qualified in the #5 position. First Blood #1 by more than 1/10 of a second. And the youngster in the Ford from Woodstock, Illinois, appears to be the heavy hitter. Moving up carefully, ready to stage up and wage war on this shortened course. Driver reaction to the green light will be all important. There just is no room for error on a course in this short a distance. Kwasniewski now inches forward and stages up. A little bit of smoke off the exhaust headers in the big red Chevrolet, but now they're ready. An incredible battle. There is absolutely no way a winner could be picked by eyesight alone on that one. On the replay, Kwasniewski gets the whole shot, but at the finish line, take a look for yourself. The USHRA Association officials say that the Buffalo Tremor Chevrolet wins in the far lane, and that may be a controversial call. Now keep in mind, their cameras are located directly on the finish line. Ours is just a little beyond. But indeed, Rob Fuchs heads for the pits as the Black Stallion of Michael Waters pulls up to the starting line for the next pair. What an upset. The #1 qualifier goes down in the first pair of the first round. Now the Black Stallion Ford #7 qualifier takes on the surprising #3 qualifier, Mike Beeler, the wrecker. The Chevrolet suffered engine problems in qualifying, but now appears to have those cleaned up. And problems for Beeler. It's another upset. Michael Waters comes from the #7 qualifying spot to waste the #3 man as the beautiful black Ford from Maryland advances to the semifinals. And the next pair is ready to go. It's an all-Chevrolet battle, actually an all-Chevy Southeastern battle. Georgia versus the Carolinas. It'll be the Carolina Crusher, which itself got crushed during the qualifying round when Gary Porter tore the left front fender right off this machine during the qualifying effort that placed him in the #4 position. The Clydesdale machine running into big problems during qualifying. Bennett Clark has thrashed back to the pit area to try and relieve the truck of its laboring off the starting line. We'll have to see if that thrashing pays off as they line up for this, the third pair in this first round of 8 eliminations in an 8-truck field. And you can see Bennett Clark actually looking at the starter and those photocells, now motioning that he is ready. Both drivers focus on the green. And another incredibly close battle. We've seen some incredibly close races, some major upsets, but right now, believe it or not, Bigfoot is the underdog. The whole shot goes to line, and he pulls it off. The Jersey Outlaw defeats Bigfoot in front of his hometown fans. Unbelievable job. The margin at the finish line was not much. The crowd salutes the hometown hero, the only round that didn't feature an upset. So in the semifinal round, the Buffalo Tremor takes on the Black Stallion, and the Carolina Crusher battles the Jersey Outlaw Ford. That will be a round to remember. Coming up, we've got the Super Modified Mud Racing Championships from Seattle, Washington, as well as more monster truck action. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Seattle Kingdom as we get ready for one of the premier Super Modified Mud Racing Championships.